And everything that they say is projection. Everything that they accuse others of, they're guilty of. Brian Stelter recently was at a forum for journalists at the Aspen Institute, a think tank, and he was asked a question by one of the audience members who said, I'm old enough to remember when, CNN actually covered news. Now it's all Trump 24/7. And he said, well, we're in an emergency. This is an emergency. The President Trump is in the White House. So I guess it's an emergency that the black unemployment's at an all-time low, that the economy is booming, that the streets are getting safer. It's an emergency to the globalists because he's the biggest obstacle to their plan to destroy the United States, which is why for the last year and a half now, they've just been going overboard and completely freaking out.
A lot of his supporters believe that we are the enemy of the American people, and that is really, really an awful situation. We are not the enemy of the American people. We love the American people. We are not the enemy of the American people. We love the American people. We love the American people. We love the American people.
They came in peace.
We are not the enemy of the American people. We love the American people.
This is CNN.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
It's something the dying corporate media does now in the thousands of articles a week that I can't even keep track of, hundreds a day that I actually try to scan over. They go, Jones is an internet talk show host with over 5 billion views on YouTube. And that was years ago when YouTube told me I had that many views, not just the billions on our own channel. But no, we're on over 200 radio affiliates, over 400 TV stations, over 80 cable stations now, some huge, some small. They're all very special. If you're watching, please spread the word. That's how we get around the censors. But isn't it something better if I was internet like Mark Dice with his media relations degree, his best-selling books with over 1 billion views on YouTube, all by himself? I mean, we always heard like the rugged individualist, the prospector went out to Alaska for 10 years and he found the big mother lode and, became a billionaire. I mean, isn't it cool that like nobody really helped Mark Dice or me? And then meanwhile, the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., came out last week retweeting Paul Watson's article and what Mark Dice had said, that CNN, the kings of fake news, say I'm fake news, and then every time they misrepresent what I said. They go, he needs to be banned. He says Anthony Bourdain was killed. No, he said Bill Clinton was a rapist and that Harvey Weinstein should die and that his wife was raped by Weinstein or his fiancée and that she was also abused and in Illuminati rituals and he was going to go public. That came out in the Daily Mail today. I told you a month ago because I talked to not one but two people that were at different shoots where he was flipping out about Kanye West and everything and finally became pro-Trump. The interview out now is from a month before that when he was saying, well, I'm neutral on Trump, but I don't like Democrats. And then it goes through all of it. Now, how did I just make that up? And then, no, I have real sources, one of which can't even come on air now because of what they told me. And I'm not at liberty to tell you. I've asked them to tell you what happened with law enforcement when they came on. But I'm just pointing out to you, this is a war. This is not a game. It's not a joke. When Mark Dice doesn't play games, they censor him from 10 million views a video to 500,000 views a video. When we do that, it's the same thing. And now they admit it last week in this big push to ban InfoWars, and then Facebook goes, hey, don't worry. They're already basically banned. Conservatives are. Libertarians are. Christians. Don't totally ban them. They'll have lawsuits. So Mark, I was trying to get him on for like a couple of weeks. He's a busy guy. He finally said Monday, I'll come on next Monday. Before this whole controversy happened, he wanted to come on to talk about the censorship he's tracking and what's unfolding. So he's with us for the balance of the hour, markdice.com. Remember that? We used to have our own websites. You need to go back to InfoWars, back to markdice.com, because more and more, InfoWars has its own streams, its own posts. And back during Parkland, they said that I said nobody died. They removed our videos, froze our channel. I uploaded them. I didn't say that. I said there was a stand down. People reported that the police stood down. They said that it was something else. Got 14 million views because people wanted to know what was really going on. But see, once they're done kicking us off YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, they're going to get our own websites. So this is the big fight. Mark Dice, couldn't be a better time for you to come on. Right in the zeitgeist here, my friend. I've laid a lot of stuff out here, but whoa, where would you historically say we are right now?
We're pushing against the possible Orwellian nightmare scenario where people and their websites, their businesses disappear down the memory hole. And for over a decade, the mainstream media has been downplaying the social media aspect of businesses, social media stars, YouTubers. You're an internet radio host. I'm just a YouTuber. But now today, Facebook is launching their own exclusive CNN and other mainstream media shows, not streaming the CNN and cable news and other outlets on Facebook. Anderson Cooper today is launching his own Facebook exclusive show called Anderson Cooper Full Circle, where he's going to be answering questions from the Facebook audience. So they have embraced social media because they were late to the game. They didn't innovate. They had their establishment system set up. They had their cable channels. They had their FCC licenses, their printing presses, their magazines distributed at all the grocery stores, the bookstores. And then we came along and using this basic, and what's now basic technology, which at the time, 12 years ago, was cutting edge, we built huge audiences that completely dominate them. My YouTube channel has more subscribers than MSNBC's channel, than CBS News, than MTV News, than NBC News. I mean, CNN's YouTube channel is pretty much the only one out of the big mainstream media channels that's bigger than mine. And I'm one guy on a laptop in my kitchen or now in my family room. And they're so scared because we've dominated them. We've snuck up behind them. They were asleep at the wheel. And so now they're suppressing us. They're teaming up with the very infrastructure that we've been using and are getting paid to do it. $90 million. Facebook is paying CNN and all these other mainstream media
unbelievable. So they're ending the you and YouTube. They're ending your face and Facebook. They are going to this model, and they want to use InfoWars as a case point. They admit they're so arrogant. Once we are accepted to be banned, trying to get conservatives to go along with that, then everybody else. And so how do we organize to fight this, Mark Dice? Because this is clearly, they got caught flat-footed in 2016. They're not getting caught flat-footed now. The president needs to act. The White House needs to take action.
We need more people to get involved. We need to do things the old-fashioned way, like you were mentioning. We need to go to websites. We need to bookmark websites on the browsers. We can't rely on just scrolling through a social media feed and expect to see the articles and the pages and the people that we're following to actually show up. We've been seeing this continuing to expand over the last 10 years, and now it's so obvious that they're literally admitting it. We've suspected a lot of these things were happening. We've noticed that some weird things were happening with our subscribers, with our views, and with our videos and posts sort of disappearing and the views stalling out, tremendous growth over years, all of a sudden vanishing and reversing. People saying that they're not getting the notification. So they've been tweaking the system and they're going to continue to tweak it. We need more people to get involved. We need to keep sending out old-fashioned emails, texting videos, bookmarking the websites. And they're not only trying to censor our message, but they're also trying to cripple us financially so that people can't do this full time.
And they also misrepresent what we've said and what we do while not letting us respond to what's happening. So understand, folks, you see a Mark Dice video, a Paul Watson video, an Alex Jones video, whichever one you think is most important. Hand share it. Tell people it's forbidden. It's verboten. Send it out on your own email. Sign up for our own newsletters. This is a war. Don't think just because Trump got in, we're going to win this. They are making their move. And what's crazy is, Mark, most members of Congress and folks aren't even aware of this. I've sent the report to the president. He's now gotten it. I'm talking to the folks as we were just speaking. They're all asking, you know, well, what should we do? I say it's in the report. So imagine, just like we innovated internet and dominated, I with more subscribers than CNN, you with more than other big channels, think about how panicked they are. So again, we don't think of ourselves as big shots. What I'm saying is we're the trailblazers, man. We are. We have to act like that.
Yeah, we saw this new technology emerge, started using it, started dominating it. They were asleep at the wheel, and now they're regretfully trying to stomp us
And now
down.
because we've won Wimbledon 15 times in a row, they're just saying Mark Dice and Alex Jones and all you other guys, you're not allowed on the field. We're like, but we're the winners. We play by the rules. They go, no. Anderson Cooper, the little, billionaire heir son, one of the oldest robber baron families, he is God. We will force feed him to everyone.
Now, you may recall, much of the audience, I think this is probably part of pop culture now, the YouTube adpocalypse that happened last April when all of a sudden the mass demonetization hit. They rolled out their new demonetization features to scroll through the audio transcripts looking for keywords and videos that people say and then demonetize them. So then 1 year later, in April of this year, CNN did their own expose, just like the Wall Street Journal
Stay there. We'll talk about the next strike on freedom. Look, I played a disgusting Brian Stelter clip earlier, but I'm going to play it and get Mark Dice's take on it. It's 1 minute long. Him saying, I control reality. I'm God. I say Trump can't be trusted. I say you're a Russian agent if you meet with Putin. I say Trump shouldn't be able to meet alone with the Russian president, which all presidents have done. Again, and it's this little pathetic nobody doing it. But just as he got to the break, we'll play it in a minute, they launched their new attack in April this year, and CNN said, ban InfoWars, ban everybody else, and now they're in the news. I think they've miscalculated, Mark, to brazenly demand we be completely deplatformed shows what incredible authoritarians they are, or have they been slowly censoring everybody so long, everybody just kind of hears, okay, censorship of conservatives, yeah, we know, but we're conservatives, we'll take it. No, we're being robbed. We're being attacked. This is how they intend to take over. Mark, what do you think?
They've lost half their audience permanently for generations. Nobody's going to ever trust CNN, MSNBC, most of these mainstream media outlets. So every time that they try to censor us or call for censorship, all that's doing is proving our point of why we don't watch them. Half of the country has permanently abandoned watching those platforms. So all they're doing is speaking to the choir. They're singing to the choir. It's an echo chamber. And CNN, many of us remember, used to actually cover some news. They used to focus on a few stories for weeks on end to draw out the dramatic effect or some celebrity murder or some interesting event or a natural disaster. Now it's all Trump bashing 24/7. So even people who used to watch CNN, who aren't even really conservatives or into alternative media, are tuning out and coming into outlets like us, which is why we've been dominating, which is why they're also trying to not only just censor us, but cripple financially. CNN in April literally targeted YouTube and said that they're funding, the advertisers are still playing ads on offensive content and racist content and all this. CNN's literally trying to financially cripple YouTubers. And I was stunned when I saw them literally, this is the second time now that they've just overtly tried to shut down InfoWars. One, when you had a strike on your channel. And it's, okay, well, 2 strikes away from being shut down, that's not a news story. I mean, maybe if you were, shut down or 1 strike away, that's.
But it was CNN that filed the fake complaints saying, I said no one died at Parkland. So they admitted they were the ones complaining.
And now they're literally admitting that they're the ones that are pressuring Facebook to ban you. I mean, to have one news organization, which is probably the most inaccurate fake news outlet, CNN, claiming that another news outlet should be shut down is preposterous. And so again, today, Facebook started their $90 million campaign to stream not just cable news shows on Facebook, original series, and they're including Fox News in the lineup so that they can pretend to be like, well, it's not just a bunch of liberal news, we got a Fox News show. Well, guess which Fox News show it is? It's Shepard Smith, the biggest never Trump nitwit on that network.
So their answer is force feed us more of their crap, censor whatever's really popular, and they've all got these weird you-know-what eating grins. They're so delusional.
Well, they're making $15,000 a day. I mean, just imagine they're making in a week what more than an average American makes all year to sit in the studio and talk for an hour a day with a couple hours of prep. I mean, Anderson Cooper literally makes 15 to 20 grand every single show. And so he pretends to connect with the average American, which is absurd. These people are actors. And they're trying to shut down, of course, any alternative emerging social media networks. You've had Andrew Torba on, founder and CEO of Gab, which has been prevented from having their app in the App Store. And Meanwhile, they're censoring Gab from having an app in the App Store, saying that it's offensive content on the platform. Meanwhile, in the Apple App Store right now, and this has been the case for well over a year, there are slap Donald Trump video games. So there are literally games in the App Store for Apple that encourage violence against the president.
Sure, so there's total censorship, total draconian control. They're arrogant monsters. Congress needs to act. The problem is they're not informed. That's why Mike Adams and I and others put together this report with Paul Watson that's on Infowars.com that we need to get to Congress and have them take action for antitrust, civil rights violations, racketeering, you name it.
Thankfully, we have Donald Trump Jr. on our team, who is, a Generation Xer who's familiar with the power of social media. And so he has the ear, obviously, of his dad. And so he can get some information to him, because YouTube was sort of left on the side burner, forgotten about in this whole fake war against fake news. It was Facebook and Twitter and the Russian bots on Twitter. And now they've set their sights on YouTube. The New York Times said that YouTube is the new talk radio for the far right.
And so it must be shut down. I mean, it's how brazen they are. Let's play this Brian Stelter clip. You may have seen it hours before Trump met with Putin. This is the dribble where he sits there and says, I control reality, like Como saying, you're not allowed to read WikiLeaks, only I am. The arrogance of these people is only matched by their low ratings. Here it is.
Putin and Trump plan to meet for a private, one-on-one conversation before official talks begin. No aides, no note takers. So we'll never really know what is said. Because, really, can we trust either man? No, we can't. In the past, the U.S. president's words have projected power and shaped global decisions. What the president said meant something. It meant a lot. But not now, not anymore. What President Trump says is so frequently false or nonsensical that his words don't have the same meaning, the same power, the same impact as past presidents. It's a shame, but it's true. Trump simply cannot be trusted. He has proven this himself time and time again. It's his own lies and his own contradictions that have proven it. And that is why this is a profound test for journalists.
It's a shame, but it's true. From one of the biggest liars on the planet. It's just profound, the projection, Mark Dice.
It sounded like Brian Stelter's inhaling helium before that segment. And everything that they say is projection. Everything that they accuse others of, they're guilty of. Brian Stelter recently was at a forum for journalists at the Aspen Institute, a think tank. And he was asked a question by one of the audience members who said, I'm old enough to remember when, CNN actually covered news. Now it's all Trump 24/7. And he said, well, we're in an emergency. This is an emergency. The President Trump is in the White House. So I guess it's an emergency that the black unemployment's at an all-time low, that the economy is booming, that the streets are getting safer. It's an emergency to the globalists because he's the biggest obstacle to their plan to destroy the United States, which is why for the last year and a half now, they've just been going overboard and completely freaking out. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention about the censorship on YouTube, it's so funny. They're burying so much content that if you search for my #1 most viewed video, which has about 9 million views, President Trump's or Donald Trump's funniest insults and comebacks, it would or used to be the #1 search result. But now it's literally buried under 50 other videos. And all of the videos on top of it are all mainstream news sources, because now they've realized that YouTube is a search engine as in conjunction with a distribution
That's right.
platform.
Stay there, though. Let's explain that, because used to even our own feeds would be our videos. Now it's not. Sacha Baron Cohen, engaged in fraud, is on the front, a couple 100,000 views, and our videos with millions aren't on the front page. Again, total fraud, total control, but we have the truth.
The year is 1995. And InfoWars launches the last of America's counter-globalist probes. In a freak mishap, Infowars.com and Alex Jones are blown out of their trajectory into an orbit which freezes his life support systems and returns Alex Jones to Earth 25 years later.
Transdimensionally over the space-time continuum through full space, where people are extremely lazy. The social engineers are there laughing. What we envisioned 100 years ago, 20 years ago, is now reality. While the society unravels, men run around totally frantic, not knowing how to be men, and women run around frantic, not knowing how to be women, and they don't understand that it's an animating contest of life and that it's fulfilling to be informed, it's fulfilling to be involved, it's fulfilling.
InfoWars, tomorrow's news today.
All right, I've done 2.5 hours live broadcast that have not plugged yet, and quite frankly, it's just because I'm so focused on the news, but that's how we finance things. I want to thank you all that buy products, InfoWarsStore.com. You see mainstream media obsessed with it. They want it shut down. Supplements, books, videos, great T-shirts, you name it. We've got Vox Day has come out with the only libertarian conservative comic books out there. They've already gone to #1 on Amazon. We got a couple thousand of these in. They're $5 a piece. You want to be politically incorrect? Buy these. Give them to your 10th grade students or 6th grade students, whatever, or donate them to the library. Alt Hero, Crackdown, Volume 1, talking about how they're shutting down the free speech. It's available at InfoWarsStore.com. So get the nice color comic book. It's a revolutionary act to go into these areas. You see Christian films now dominating Hollywood. This, what's happening, we're getting on the playing field. Also, I'm not going to spend time on it because it's so complex and so cool that I don't want to take the time up from Mark Dyche. But we have Super Silver Wound Gel now available that has the strongest silver you can get without a prescription. I remember talking about how great silver was when the other antibiotics and things aren't working 20 years ago in the media saying, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Now you go to the Walgreens and they're selling it, or you can get a prescription for, $100, and the hospitals are using it, spray bottles everywhere. But Super Silver Wound Gel use silver salt technology. That's an advanced patented technology that has forever changed the colloidal nanosilver market. This has been extensive research on silver salt technology. This research includes 20+ safety reports and test series, as well as a first ever double-blind FDA-cleared human ingestion toxicity study done on any silver product, but it's for topical use. The formula is 24 ppm, 32 ppm version is FDA cleared as a prescription medical device. But what you can sell over the counter, this is an over-the-counter product, which had to be cleared to the FDA, is 24 ppm. Similar products sell for $40 or more. It's $29.95. It is one of the only OTC products with, you can make direct claims against MRSA, VRE, and many other deadly forms of bacteria that can cause infection. Great for first and second degree burns, including sunburn. Super Silver Wound Gel is essentially armor for your wounds. It is a protective barrier that guards the wounds and helps keep them from getting infected. The barrier of protection can last up to 3 days on the skin, helping to eliminate the chance of infection. It is perfect for athletes, particularly of all ages, in all sports areas. That's how it originally got developed. It's sold under a brand name for $40, and I'm going to just leave it at that. But they're patriots. They let us private label it. We're selling it for $29.95, and it costs us a lot to secure it because it's had to get FDA approval. So can you imagine how much it costs to get this FDA cleared? Even though it's been approved by the FDA for over-the-counter sale, we can't even say, we say cleared. That's what a police state this country is. This is cleared by the FDA. But this is the strongest over-the-counter silver in existence. Super silver. InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139. We got another big, huge Defeat the Democrat censorship sale, one of the biggest ever running. I haven't even plugged it yet. I'm going to leave it at that. Mark Dyche, going back to you. This is the dastardliness of mainstream media being arrogant while you had 1 billion views and I had 5 billion views and you had all these best-selling books, and they would all just laugh at us when we would do a video and, get 1 million views during the, and then Anderson Cooper would do one and had 5,000 on their channel. So now Facebook, 90 million investment to act like CNN's this god, to buy the content. It's like buying dog turds, to then force feed it to everybody it just shows what a joke it is. And even if they try to censor and ban everybody, I don't see people going back on the plantation. I don't think Humpty Dumpty can be put back together again. What do you think?
No, they've completely ruined their brand name recognition, which is why now we're seeing newer media companies like Vox, which actually owns a whole dozen or so of media companies, to then try to fill the internet with all these various different brands. Oh, it's Axios News, it's The Verge, it's Vox Media, all these new brands, so that people sort of think that it's a newer emerging company when really it's part of the same umbrella. It's going to be interesting to see if CNN or if Facebook shows the view count of their new shows on their watch pages, because what if only 50,000 people, 100,000 people are watching these shows? MTV News can put out a video of an interview with a major celebrity on their YouTube channel, and it barely gets 1,000 views. Nobody cares. And the power of the individual and the individual YouTuber, the individual Facebook user, is so important, because Mitt Romney, they say potentially lost. I mean, let's just say there was no voter fraud, manipulation. If it was a fair system, many analysts credit Mitt Romney with losing the 2012 election because of that YouTube video of him at an event, at a fundraiser, where he was talking trash about the 47% of Americans who are never going to vote for him. He was at a fundraiser. The bartender propped up his cell phone on the table, took a video of it, just posted it on YouTube, and it organically spread. And that upset so many people that they literally, the analysts, Republican analysts, credit that as diminishing his credibility beyond repair. So that's the power of one individual with a cell phone posting on YouTube, and now obviously Twitter and Facebook and Instagram all have these video capabilities.
And so we now know their answer is to govern everybody back. That's their answer. But people know Axios is a clone of Politico. So as fast as they get discredited, they create new bodies. I think they're admitting defeat here, Mark.
I don't know how they're going to hold on. They're going to get more and more desperate as the midterms approach, and then as the 2020 election approaches. I think they're going to just keep on stumbling over their own, what they're hoping are going to be stepping stones, because the Trump train is so engaged that we didn't just relax after the election. We didn't fall asleep at the wheel and think we'll vote again in 4 years. This movement is so energized that we're constantly watching. And even if, you and I have pretty big audiences, pretty big channels, but everybody who has a small YouTube channel of 1,000 subscribers.
All of it together, and that's the key. Our listeners, our viewers, no matter who you are, it's like whack-a-mole. I see female, black, you name it, YouTubers that are just as smart as you and I, emerging Facebookers with millions of views because they haven't censored them yet. Then they censor them. They start a new channel. It's big. Then they censor them. But it doesn't matter. People now get it, so they know to follow whatever they're not allowed to have. So, again, how do the globalists get around the Streisand effect?
I don't know. I don't think that they know how. I think that they're in uncharted territory. They're just throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall, hoping that it sticks, which is why we have to counter them on every move. I know some other YouTubers, if they get a video demonetized or a strike, they're afraid to kind of call YouTube out. They don't want to make any waves. Every time they do it to me, I just call them out. I make another video pointing it out. I'll start tweeting to the YouTube CEO, to Susan Wojcicki, who says that just interrupting her is a sexist microaggression. So we have to just continue to counter every move that they make, because they're so desperate. They've been failing. We're winning. And we just have to keep it up. I don't think we're in uncharted territory. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think they know what's going to happen.
No, I agree. But we'll come back to final segment. But with maximum efforts needed now, here's the good news. We don't just have Trump and our awakening here. All over the world, nationalism, capitalism is the hottest thing, especially with Generation Z. I'm telling you, the worm is turning. It's an exciting time to be alive, but the enemy counterstrike straight ahead. MarkDice.com. Remember websites? Got to go there if you want to find what he's doing uncensored. MarkDice.com. Save it, just like NewsWars.com. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
I'm a nasty woman.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Our team is always looking for new ways to improve our products. That's why we've created the newest version of a fan-favorite formula, the Real Red Pill Plus. The Real Red Pill Plus contains the powerful pregnenolone formula, now with an added energy boost. Now, you can support your heart, brain, and aging process with an added natural energy boost. The proprietary energy blend includes powerful ingredients like green tea extract, yerba mate leaf extract, and more. Paired with the powerful ingredients in the original Real Red Pill formula, the Real Red Pill has just what you need to support your body while getting the pick-me-up to get you through the day. The Real Red Pill Plus is a powerful investment into the future of your mind and body. Don't miss out on the all-new upgrade to your favorite product. Head to InfoWarsStore.com and get the Real Red Pill Plus today. Real Red Pill Plus is on sale now while supplies last.